Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Running your own orthodontic practice is difficult, especially when you realize that it is so much more than just putting braces on. It takes time, dedication, and an understanding of concepts that most residencies never cover. We recently had the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Anne-Marie Gorsica. She's been in practice for over 33 years and has authored several amazing books for orthodontists to help grow and manage their practices. In our interview, Dr. Gorsica shared so many golden nuggets on sales, marketing, and practice management wisdom. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 7 actionable steps to better your orthodontic practice today. The first step to improving your practice is to never stop marketing. You work hard to get your name out into your community, build brand recognition, and when there's momentum, it's really easy to say that you've done enough.
I think the first 7 years of your orthodontic practice, you really work hard with the marketing. You are just go, go, go. You're like out in the community every week and attending every event and doing all kinds of things. And then after 7 years, you get to a high level and then maintenance becomes the key. And one thing I learned that I didn't really know, around year 10, everything you've done, you've got to keep doing it. Because every case you finish, you've got to replace. So marketing never ends. It continues all the way through. They don't teach you that in dental school. So I think years 10 to 15 are very critical years because there's a tendency to want to kick back and think, oh, we don't have to do so much of this or so much of that.
The next step is to call pending patients until you get either a yes or a no.
I had the opportunity to speak at the AAO, and I spoke about the Take Action Green Book. And I asked the members of the audience, how many treatment coordinators in this audience? And hands went up. And then I asked, how many times do you call your pending patient before you give up? I would say the average response is twice. And I told that audience, never give up until you get a yes or a no.
The third step to make your practice better is take over calling pending patients yourself or implement a system that prioritizes this and has a way to track it.
And the way we do it in my practice is we do the exam. We hope they start that day. We do promote same-day starts. If they don't start that day, we call them back 2 days later. And 2 days is a critical time because they haven't had time to go for a second opinion. And chances are they're not going to go for a second opinion. So if you call them at 2 days, you have that's a hot lead. You have a very good chance of scheduling them. If they don't schedule at 2 days, then we call them 2 weeks later and we try to schedule them. My treatment coordinator makes those first 2 calls. But if they don't schedule that first month, I make the monthly calls. This has been very good for our conversion rate. When I started this program in my office, I literally had 907 patients on my pending list that had not given a yes or a no. And I'm happy to report now that that list is so cleaned up that right now I probably have 35 people on that list.
Wow.
And I'm very happy with that. And how long does it take me to call 35 people? 2 hours maximum. I've got 2 hours. And I tell myself, each call I make is worth $3,500 to me. That's how much my call is worth to my practice. Now, do I have time for that call? I certainly do.
The fourth step to improving your practice is to give your treatment coordinator 60 minutes of uninterrupted time just for sales calls.
So in my book, Take Action, I put in there, give your treatment coordinator an hour of power. I call it the hour of power. Put her in the room, put a sign on the door. Do not disturb until 2 o'clock or whatever. And do not allow anyone to go into that room or interrupt her so that she can stay focused.
Next, as the leader, you set the example.
The leader leads by example. The leader leads by example. So I really should be the hardest working person in my office, right? Because I want my team to work hard. I have a rule. I'm always the last one out the door. I don't desert. Whoever is left in my office, if the records coordinator is still printing records, I just go and sit in my office and I wait for her to be done, because I don't want anyone to feel that they're alone. We have a thing in our office that no one leaves for the day without asking every single team member, does anyone need help?
Wow.
Does anyone need help?
The sixth step to improving your orthodontic practice is to hold a weekly team meeting to initiate your projects and get things done. It's easy to fall into going through the motions and just going over the numbers.
One thing that I really like that Gino Wickman states for his team meetings, at the end, give yourself a score. Finish the meeting on time. Last 5 minutes. Okay, everyone, here's a blank piece of paper. How did we do today? Not how did I do or how did you do? How did we do today as a team? And when you start your meetings, you might score a 6 or a 7. People might think the meetings are boring, they're too long, whatever. Okay, let's fix that. After you get through about a year, maybe, you're going to be getting 10s, because everyone's going to come prepared. Everyone's going to bring their reports. They want to get done as soon as possible. They give their report. You go around the room twice. You're done.
The next step is to read constantly to educate yourself. The quote, "When you stop learning, you stop growing," is so true.
My family and I and my son, we have this tradition. Every Friday night, we go to Barnes & Noble. We each get a book, and then we go out to dinner. That's our Friday night, end of the week
That's
ritual.
amazing. I love that.
So we are readers in my family. We always have a book with us. When you get interested in a topic, you just keep researching. Who are the leaders in this field? What are the most important books in this field? Who are the experts in this field? And you just keep looking for information that will help you.
Dr. Gorczyca has so much wisdom and knowledge to share from her 33 years as an orthodontist. Check out the full podcast interview to go even further with this conversation.